Good evening, guys. So we'll take up a problem on laws of motion today. We'll take up a spring-based problem, right? And we'll have some interesting questions based on springs and laws of motion as well, even though you might find more of spring questions in work per energy and the other chapters, right? But anyways, let's have a look at this question. You have three identical particles A, B, and C, each of them having a mass m, and they're connected by three identical springs. So all the springs have the same spring constant, and the mass of all these three particles are the same. And they occupy the corners of an equilateral triangle as shown in the figure. So they're occupying the corners of an equilateral triangle over here. And this assembly is suspended by attaching the ball A to the ceiling with the help of a light thread, right? So what can you predict regarding the accelerations of the balls immediately after the thread is cut over here, right? So that's a question we need to follow, and these are the options over here. All the options related over here are regarding what the acceleration of these particles will be just after the spring is cut, just after the string is cut over, right? So let's deal with this question. So we have three particles, rather three spheres. The mass of all these spheres are identical. And now we have a spring attaching them such that they are, forming an equilateral triangle. They're forming an equilateral triangle in this case. And now we are suspending block A, or we are suspending a particle A from the ceiling with the help of a string over here, So we need to find out what will be the acceleration of these particles just after, we release the string over here. We cut the string just after the string is cut over here, right? So first of all these springs will initially be in an equilibrium state over here. So let's draw a free body diagram for when all of these springs will be in equilibrium, right? And here we'll be making a slight assumption. We'll say that the shape of this will not change by much. We'll say that this still retains the shape of an equilateral triangle, which is accurate to a certain extent, right? So let's say spring constant, K. So let's draw a free body diagram for this particle of mass M. So in order for this mass to be in equilibrium, you have an mg force acting on this. So what is preventing it from falling down? It's obviously this spring which is preventing it from falling down. So let's say that the force exerted by the spring is F1, and that will be acting along the length of the spring. So, and once again, assuming that the shape is still kind of like an equilateral triangle, the angle will not change by much anyways. So the angle which it makes with the horizontal is 60 degrees, right? So we know that this spring has to exert an upward force over here to prevent this from falling. So apart from exerting an upward force, whose component now will be equal to F1 sine 60, the spring is also exerting a force in the x direction, and that is equal to F1 cos 60. So in order for this particle to not move this way, then this spring has to exert a compressive force, a pushing force, or the spring is compressed basically, and the force which it exerts is, let's say, F2, right? And now for this object to be in equilibrium, then we have the condition that F1 sine 60 should be equal to mg, and F1 cos 60 should be equal to F2. So from this, we get F1 value to be equal to 2 mg by root 3, and we get F2 value to be equal to, so it is F1 cos 60, so it will be equal to mg by root 3. So these are the forces exerted by these two springs, right? And you can now imagine that this spring will also be exerting the same force, because everything about this is identical to this. There's nothing different between these two blocks, between these two particles over here. It's a symmetrical situation. So you'll have the same F2 acting over here. Even this spring will exert the same force F1 to keep this particle in equilibrium. Right. So you'll have the same spring force acting over here, right? And now we need to find out what will be the acceleration of each particle after the string is cut. So let's look at particle 1, right? So what were the forces acting on this particle A, which was attached to the ceiling? So initially you had a tension force, and now this spring will be pulling it with the same force F1. This spring will be pulling it with the force of F1, and you have your mg force also acting over here. And as you can expect, this angle will be equal to 60 degrees. This angle will be equal to 60 degrees. And now the string will obviously keep this in equilibrium because the string does not want to be elongated over here. But as soon as we cut the string, this tension force no longer exists. So the only forces acting right now are mg and these two spring forces over here, F1 and F1, right? As soon as the string is cut. And now as soon as the string is cut, it takes the next instant, maybe the spring might get compressed. The spring might change its elongation over here. But at the instant the string is cut, your spring is still at the same elongation as what it had in the equilibrium condition. So your spring's elongation won't change instantly. It will have the same value as what it had. just before the string was cut. So your force acting over here would be F1. It would be the same F1 which you calculated over here. So that means now it's pretty obvious that this block will be accelerating downwards just after the string is cut. So what acceleration will it have? So what will be the forces acting on this now? We have your mg force. And now your x component of the forces, as we can see, will get cancelled. So you'll have both your y component of force will be 2 into F1 sine 60. So this will be accelerating downwards. And now what will be the acceleration of this particle? So 2F1 sine 60 plus mg should be equal to ma. So this is 2F1 into root 3 by 2. So this becomes F1 root 3 plus mg is equal to ma. But we know the value of F1. We got the value of F1 earlier. We got the value of F1 to be equal to 2mg by root 3. So substituting that over here, we get 2mg by root 3 into root 3 plus mg is equal to ma. So you get the acceleration. So we get 3mg is equal to ma, which implies acceleration of this particle will be 3g in the downward direction. The acceleration of this particle will be 3g in the downward direction here, right? So just after the string is cut, the tension force stops acting over here, but the spring force doesn't change because it needs, again, it is just after the string is being cut. So your spring force, your spring elongation does not change instantly. So it'll exert the same force it was exerting before as well, right? So this will be the acceleration of this. Now, what will be the acceleration of the other two particles? Again, using the same logic over here, just after the string is cut. Just after the string is cut, I'm sorry, just after the string is cut. Now, will the force acting on this block, is any of these forces changing right after the string is cut? Your spring is still exerting a force, your spring is still elongated, and it has the same elongation right now. So you'll have the same force F1 acting. You'll have the same force F2 acting, because again, it takes a time. It takes, you need an instant again to change the compression of the spring, right? So this F1 force value does not change. This F2 force value does not change. Your mg does not change, and it was in equilibrium over here, so it will remain in equilibrium afterwards also, just after the string is cut. So the answer for this question is just after the string is cut. Just after the string is cut, your particle 1 will be moving down with an acceleration of 3g, whereas particle 2 and particle 3 will have no acceleration. They'll just remain stationary at that instant. The next instant onwards, things change. Your elongation changes, your force changes. So things change over here, right? So this kind of problems are fairly common in laws of motion, where they'll ask you what will be the acceleration of these particles attached to the spring just after the string is cut. These kind of questions, right? I hope this question has been clear, guys.